Hello guys and welcome back. So now in this video we're gonna add the health system to our player and also the death and respawn system as well. For that, go ahead and open up the player controller script, and then at the top we're gonna create a header by the name of player health. Okay, in here create a public float by the name of current health. After this, make a float as well by the name of maximum health, which will be 100 by default. Alright, then in the start method we're gonna set the current health, so current health will be equals to the maximum health. Then after this, scroll down, and after the handle crouch we're gonna create a public void method by the name of take damage, which will take a float as a parameter and name it as damage. Alright, then we're gonna decrease the current health by the damage value, and then we're gonna say if the current health is less than or equals to 0 and the player is not dead. Let's move to the top and create this is dead bool. Okay, so private bool is dead equals to false. Then what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna say die, and now let's create this die method. So we're gonna say void die, and when the player die we're gonna say is dead equals to true. Then we're gonna decrease the day, because in Granny there are 3 or 4 days, I don't know, but there are day systems, so we're gonna decrease the day when the player die, and then we're gonna say start coroutine, and in here call the method handle respawn. Alright, now let's go ahead and create this method. So in order to create it, we will say enumerator handle respawn. So first of all, we're gonna wait for 2 seconds when the player dies. So yield return new wait for seconds, and we're gonna wait for 2 seconds. After that, we're gonna show a black screen. Alright, for now we don't have a black screen, so we will just type black screen. Alright, after that we're gonna move the player back to the starting point. So character controller dot enabled will be false, and the transform dot position will be equals to the start position dot position. Alright, let's add a start position as well. Right here we're gonna say public transform start position. Okay, now scroll down, and when we move the player to the start position, after that we right here we're gonna set the character controller dot enable to true, and then we're gonna wait for 3 seconds. So yield return new wait for seconds. Alright, because for 3 seconds we want to show the black screen, or you can say the loading screen. Whoops, right here type 3. Alright, after 3 seconds we will deactivate the black screen, and then we're gonna reset the player health, and we're gonna set the is dead to false. And of course the granny will only damage the player, so as you know that we now have this take damage method. So click on villain AI, and right here in the attack, as you can see, we left a comment to damage the player. So in order to damage the player right here, we will first of all check that if the granny that is attacking attack the object that has a player controller script attached to it. Alright, so we will say player controller, name it as player controller, then say player dot get component, and we want to get the player controller. Alright, then we will say if this player controller is not null, then player controller dot take damage, and the granny will give damage of 100. Alright, if we check the player has a health of 100, so granny will give damage of 100. So this 100 will be passed to this take damage method, and it will be decreased from the current health, and the player will die simply. And sorry guys, I'm really sorry we typed this code, this if condition, this whole thing back again right here. Alright, I've got confused, so make sure that you remove this and this bracket as well, and just leave this as it is. Alright, because right here we are already taking the reference to the player controller script, and then in the player controller script we want to just take the take damage method, and to that method we want to pass 100. Alright, you just need to type this one line in here. Alright, once you do that, here is the granny. Now let's go ahead and play the game and see if it works or not. Alright, if you pick this up and drop it, then pick it up again, let the granny come and damage the player. Alright, for example, if you stand right here and the granny will come and damage the player. Alright, we didn't added the start position. Sorry for that, I don't know why I'm making so many mistakes. Alright, as you can see, it is missing the start position. So let's first of all double click on player, and in the player create an empty game object, name this as player start position, take it out and put it in the environment, then click on player and drag and drop that. Okay, then let's play the game again. Pick this up, drop it, let the granny come now. Okay, now as you can see, the granny is not moving to the start position after it kills the player. Okay, as you can see, the granny doesn't move to the start position back again, and also the granny still follows us. Alright, so we need to fix this problem. But as you can see, the player can die and the player can respawn right here. We just need to add the loading screen to it, and we also need to fix this granny issue. Okay, because we want that when we respawn the player, we don't want the granny to come and chase the player back again. So in order to fix this, what we need to do is right here, as you can see in the villain AI script, we left a comment for ourselves in which we say that respawn the granny at start position. Alright, so now let's actually do that, since we have a respawn method for granny setup. So we will say start coroutine, call the respawn, and for the delay we will pass 2 seconds to it. That is it. When you do that, you can go ahead and play the game again, and let's test it out. Alright, pick this up, drop it, let the granny come. There she is. as you can see, the player respawns back right here, and the granny can now no longer chase us. Okay, the granny will be standing right there, as you can see. Okay, now the granny can attack the player. We can also attack the granny. We can kill the granny, and the granny can kill us. Plus, both of the player and granny can respawn. And now the next thing which we will be adding is the loading screen and also the UI for the granny, in which we will say that granny is gone for 2 minutes. Okay, so we need to add that, but we're gonna do that in the next video.